right, welcome back to episode 63 of the Hops and Bops podcast. I am producer Tom.
I am Joe.
Still Mike.
Yeah, still?
Yeah.
After all
Been
these
for a while.
years.
Well, since
Good
all
for you.
beginning of the episodes.
Yeah, and speaking of Mike,
This is a Mike episode.
this is a Mike-centric theme, okay? Not only do we have Mike here, but we have the artist of choice, Mike Love, the album title called Mike Love and the Full Circle live at home in Hawaii.
Yes.
And to drink with that, we have Mike's Harder Mango.
I love it.
What a Mike. I'm
Triple
excited.
Mike.
Triple
Never
Mike.
a bad thing.
No, it's a lot of Mike.
I got a mic right here, too.
So we
That's quadruple Mike.
God damn.
so we just bought one can,
That's all you need.
and I couldn't use my credit card because I didn't realize how cheap it was.
Yeah.
Was there like a limit?
It was a
$5.
$5 limit.
We bought this
between
and-
that
and
and the shot that's gonna go for next episode if Joe sticks with the album. It came to foreign change.
Yeah.
We had to pay cash.
Honestly, I think it was like $4.84 or something like that. It
He
was
goes,
like so
he told us we
close.
had to buy another shot. We told
Yeah.
him no.
Yeah.
We paid cash.
Yeah, no, we're all set. Yeah.
He was kind of a dick anyway.
Yeah, he was.
We told him we want the cheapest tequila you have.
Yeah, I was
or
like,
the garbage tequila.
Excuse
He
me,
goes-
sir. What do you recommend for your worst tequila?
And he goes, I don't sell worse
Yeah,
tequila.
I don't sell bad
So
tequila.
at first we were like, haha, that's funny, like you. And then
Yeah.
he was like, no,
Yeah.
seriously. And then he gave us like the most expensive one, and we were like,
Don Julio. I'm like, no, I'm not
Now you're being a
giving
dick.
that
Yeah,
to Mike.
no, yeah.
No, that's not the bet. The bet is awful tequila. Yeah.
So now I went with mango. We didn't want to go lemonade. We want some,
Yeah,
full
lemonade's
flavor.
been done by others.
Yeah.
Even if you haven't had Mike's Hard, you know what Mike's Hard tastes like.
Yeah.
8%.
Oh, all right. So this is the
This is like Four Loko
this
realm.
is Mike's Harder.
Yes.
So Mike
Mike's
loves,
Harder.
but Mike's Harder.
Yes.
Ooh,
like
that
orange juice.
that looks like
It's a hefty pour there, Michael.
that's like if you drained out
a
like
lot of
Kraft
it.
mac and cheese into a can,
Oh, that smells like tang.
like Tang. Ooh,
smells like
that when
airborne.
when.
Airborne.
Oh, we get another
Cheers.
Wu Tang.
Yeah.
Oh, just hold on.
That's the
You can pick it
Alka-Seltzer.
up. You can pick it up.
Interesting. Not very boozy for 8%. Very like juice oriented.
I don't like it. No, that
It
is
kinda
not
seems
enjoyable
like
at all.
cheap juice.
Yeah, it's like if you opened up the Lake Shack and you found out there was some Sunny D left in the fridge.
Yeah, right.
Another Mike. This Mike Judge.
Jesus Christ.
The
The
guy
artist.
the guy who did Beavis and Butthead.
cartoon
For our audio listeners, he's sipping out of a Beavis and Butthead cup done by Mike Judge. So there's a fifth Mike.
It tastes like stale juice.
Yeah, no, this is rancid.
You know the juice.
It's not as bad as the Four Loko.
No, it is. There's nothing worse than that.
You know the like no label like juice they sell at like the dollar store. This is that.
What it is.
Yeah.
Where's the booze? That's scary. There's no booze.
You don't
Like,
taste it? I mean,
No.
There, it's in the back, I think. They really.
It's in the.
Hey, we got the booze in the back, guys. Let me look at this can. There's got to be some other hidden shit
I
Oh,
on
like
here.
the A and harder is like the caution sign.
that shit's dangerous.
Their version of a don't drink but until you're 21 is Mike's is hard. So is prison. Don't drink until you are 21.
Wow.
Also, it is called a flavored
Prison
ale.
Mike.
That's all I was thinking of Prison Mike.
Jesus Christ.
I should have had a
Mike
purple
all around.
bandana.
I know.
Where's part about prisons that Dementors. Grill sandwiches.
Been on the chain gang. Busting rocks with chains on your legs. Yeah, it's never good when it's called a flavored ale. I feel like,
Ooh.
Mike's Hard is definitely not an ale. It's more of just like a hard juice. But this is, this is scary. I feel like this is something you would pour on like bug bites to make them go away.
Or bugs to kill
Oh
them.
God, a spider bit me! Quick, get the mics harder.
Yeah.
This is it. Oh yeah.
Could be worse, I think.
I don't even taste the mango.
No, hold on.
Like, this isn't mango. It's like orange to me.
Oh. There's something about that.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
No.
Make it.
Like it
You
could
just keep saying no.
No.
Because Prison Mike is chasing after him.
The mentors. Oh.
Oh, there's something about it. Yeah, it's definitely not mango. It's definitely more
Right?
orange.
It's like orange.
Yeah, but like a rotten orange.
Yeah, that's it. We're suing.
We're suing for slander.
Oh,
Good Lord. All right.
It was rough.
Oof. Yeah, not great.
Yeah, but
bad, not great.
bad,
Can't even say
bad,
good,
not good.
great. Yeah,
Not
yeah,
great.
bad, not good.
But this album.
Yeah, let's see if we can turn this around.
Take it away,
Oh, we
Mike.
can. So, what I loved about the live album was it was just so many of his fucking. He has such an energy and just such a vibe, especially in the live setting, that the fact that the quality of recording for this was. The quality
Go
of
on.
the quality of the recording was
for
like
a live
was like a regular
Great.
fucking studio
Yeah.
album. And on top of that, it was all his best hits. Then some little jams on the side.
But
It was
who is Mike Love though? Please.
So he's from Hawaii.
Allegedly.
Grew up in Hawaii.
Yes.
And Hawaiian Brian's is a place that they play apparently weekly. Now I'm sure that's not when they're touring, but when they're not touring, they play there weekly. So this is like they're kind of like their home course.
Yeah.
You know what I
Hawaiian
mean?
Brian.
Like this is what the place they do. So,
Right.
which I'm assuming is why it sounds so good.
Yeah.
You know, they play there all the time.
Right.
It's Hawaiian Brian kind of like Hannah Montana, or like Alexis, Texas.
We just went from Disney Channel to porn to fucking to reggae.
Reggae.
What a combo!
Yeah.
It's a real social network over here.
But the biggest thing when I was first introduced to him was just his percussive, as we talked about today, the percussiveness around like the way he sings and plays and everything he does is so rhythmic. And as like a percussionist, and you know, it just really like stuck with me. And then on top of that, like he's an amazing guitarist, and his ability to like his acoustic shows, it's just him, and it still sounds like this because he just puts together these loop pedals and these different like effects and everything else that he's. It sounds like a full band. He's just sitting on stage, just tapping around. It's like unreal to the noise he creates and the music he creates from just sitting there. It's crazy to me, like to be able to be that tight and that good.
Yeah.
It's great. I don't know. And then I've seen him live, and like I can't wait to see him again. He was one of the best musicians I've ever seen live, which I've seen a lot of people live.
Yeah, that's
it's
big.
Just, I mean, he was that good. And then after you meet him, and it's like he's a normal dude, just like hanging out with you. It's just kind of weird, like.
Yeah,
It's just such a up and down, like all over the place. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's something I took away pretty immediately from this album, was that he seems like he's very authentic with what he does.
Oh
He doesn't
my God.
seem to like fake anything that he does.
No.
He definitely seems very real and down to earth. And,
100%.
Yeah, seems like a very cool guy to hang out with.
Yeah.
I mean, being drunk in New Hampshire and talking to him for the 10 minutes I talked to him, it was like, he's like hugging you and he's like signing stuff. He's just talking to you. He's asking like how you're doing. And you're like, kind of like, it was like when I ran into the Trish from Hyrie at the Dirty Head show.
Yeah.
It was like, I literally went to say like, hey, I just randomly ran into you and great job. And I went to walk away and she was like, oh, by the way, what's your name? Thanks for coming. And I'm sitting there and I'm going like, why does that matter to you? You know?
Yeah,
right.
I'm used to running into a guy like Brent Smith. He's a great guy. But he's like, hey, thanks for the show. Appreciate it. Next. Like,
Yeah.
But I get it. You got hundreds of people in line to see you. So you
Right.
got to move it along.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, it's a different vibe when you see these people in like real life.
Yeah, and part of that's probably what they're preaching in their songs about
Yeah.
love and, being friends with everyone. It's definitely the vibe that they give off, kind of. And they're not crazy, superstar
They're
level
not
popular.
even- yeah. I mean, we paid $20 to see him in New Hampshire on the boardwalk. And I feel like I should have paid like 50 or 60. I
Yeah.
paid $20.
Yeah. Was it the whole band? Or was
No, it was just him and
Just
a
him.
bass player.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then an opening act, Natalie Rise. She was really good too.
Cool. Another thing I liked about his kind of message was just how much credit he gave the band. I'm big on that. When you're a solo guy and you shout out your band constantly, I love that because that's the sound. That's where the music comes from, you know? And he also said, like, he thanked the crowd. He was like, you're part of the band too, you know, which I thought was really cool. Just a real positive atmosphere to be around, you know, at a live show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then even later in the album, he, you know, mentions to fans of his that he was very close with that had passed away and, and had since, you know, not written a song about, but he does mention that. So it feels like a very tight-knit family.
Yeah.
It's a cool feeling.
Really, it's just a whole different feel.
Yeah.
You know, and then you open it up with "Can't Take It When You With You When You Go," which was one of the first songs I've ever heard by him.
Me too.
So that's kind of, you know, the connection I had with that song.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy that song and the message. I mean, it's true. You know, you can't take shit with you. So what do you got?
Collect your silver, collect your gold.
Yeah.
Take you when you get old or something.
You know, you open up with the intro, which I get why the intro's there, but
yeah, no, you
even
might as well,
now,
might as well just jump
I
right
skip
in.
that every time.
Yeah, it's not really
It's not really a song. It's just introducing him, and if it were
Fat
live,
Joe.
that would be one thing. Yeah, Fat Joe. I saw that.
PHAT.
And then
Yeah, no, I think that's probably my favorite song on the album. Was that
Can't Take It
opener?
With You When You Go.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a great song.
yeah. Like you said, the message is great. I just love the. It was so bouncy, and it didn't sound like. Obviously, there are reggae elements to it, but it's closer to. I don't know. It just felt very kickback and fun.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too reliant on like reggae tropes in certain. You texting over there?
No, I'm sorry. we were ordering dinner.
Oh, okay.
And I showed him a picture of the sides. And it was a picture he's trying to click in. I'm like, no, you didn't tell me.
Well, because I'm trying to like just tap it, give it back so you guys can keep it going.
What'd you want?
I would like to have the mashed potatoes, please.
Ooh.
Either one side or a salad or two sides. You want one side of the salad?
Or
Caesar
two.
salad or two sides?
Or two sides?
Yeah.
All right, please hold.
He's two-sided.
Hold on. I haven't had Longhorn in so long.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
So we're back. Joe went with the rice.
And the potatoes.
And the baked potatoes.
Mashed taters.
Good choice.
Solid.
But speaking of baked,
This whole album.
we offered any devil's lettuce up there?
No. Trevor had it in his bag the entire time we golfed. Forgot to offer it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Good.
sure that would have helped
Yeah.
you with your swing.
Wow.
Definitely. With my knee, at least.
Oh, there you go.
Yesterday. That was pretty good.
It just chills you out. We had a good time at the casino.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Speaking of things that chill you out.
Can't Take It With You When You Go, that was a great album.
Song?
Great song. And then it goes, Gonna Make It.
Mm-hmm.
Nice opening. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very tight band.
Everything. Because there's a lot of that. Like I
They
said,
don't miss a beat. They're together.
No.
Like no one's early, no one's late.
There are no mistakes on this is important.
no.
And I should mention this before we get too deep into this. I think you and I have a similar feeling like when you go hiking is like the ultimate test on whether or not a reggae album is good.
All right.
So I took this over up on Devil's Hop Yard over in East Haddam, and I went up all the way to the top and listened to this album, and it hit different. I don't know, something about it.
Nature and everything else.
Yeah,
It's just that vibe.
something about that, something about the other reggae albums that we've done on the show is just a little different, and I think part of that has to do with like the live aspect.
Yeah.
Something that like. Because it is like a family feel. Like obviously it's a bit smaller, but it's all about you know love and loving thy neighbor and all of that jazz. And hearing the live audience react to what he's saying and what he's singing, it adds a different layer of meaning and understanding to some of these songs.
For sure.
Granted, it's also 2.5 hours, so it's a bit of a struggle
is.
to get through at points. I think I only listened to it once all the way through.
So did I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. It is a bit tougher.
Yeah, this becomes a go-to for me, like in certain situations where I just need to put something on and like go with it, because any song that I decide to like jump in and pay attention, it's just a fucking banging track. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
And so there's really no, like, you can listen to this in pieces, and it's still a great album.
Yep.
Which I think is a whole nother aspect. Like, there's some albums where if you come in at the middle, you're kind of confused or lost, or it doesn't have the same feel. Like, no matter where you jump in, it's like you just joined the show and you didn't miss anything.
Right.
Like, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It also makes some of the tracks a bit harder to like remember about certain parts I enjoyed, which is a bit tough. But
and that also comes with, and I can agree. Like, Joe listened to the last album we did, and he said, like, 15, 20 times he listen. I've listened to his stuff to the point where, like, there's not a song I haven't heard that he's put out. So I know every song no matter what. And so for me, it's like it's a little different.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think the only downside to the album as a whole is because it's a live album and it's done from a live show. You have that like narrative to it that doesn't always translate to
an album listening experience.
Exactly. There's a lot of when you're in the moment listening to him preach, like it doesn't seem as long as drawn out and as like I hate to say unnecessary, but unneeded. At the time. When you're listening to the album in a home setting or a work setting or a hiking setting, like you don't necessarily want to listen to the preachy part. You want music. You want the go-to. Because you're not sitting in front of him. He's not talking to you.
Right.
Yeah, it would have a different meaning if it was directed
100%.
at you.
And I've experienced it firsthand. And that's the only downside to the whole album, in my opinion. I musically, vocally, quality, I mean, if I ignore that portion of it, the narrative portion, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, honestly.
I mean, you could ignore it because it's not technically part of the album.
I am. So,
we'll
just say that for now.
Yeah.
But, again.
I do it.
There are certain tracks that, My one example is the track Penniless, where
love that guitar riff.
It's a great song. I enjoyed the track. It's just that, obviously it is a bit longer. I think it's
a
about
little more of a drawn out song.
It's like 8-9 minutes.
Yeah.
But the total track is 17 minutes. So you get the last like 8 minutes of him just talking about like what the next track will be about, and it does feel like rambling at points.
Agreed.
So that aspect of it does get
it's a different vibe when you're smoking and drinking and you're literally right there in front of him.
Oh yeah.
He could go on for 20 minutes and you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. It's all about circumstances where you are at the moment.
Yeah, it's still great.
I thought it would get better.
Be Thankful, I thought, is a great song.
Loved Being Thankful.
Great song.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Like everyone shines in this song.
Yes.
Yep.
Agreed.
Everyone has their moment. Like piano, horns, guitar, drums. Everyone has their moment.
How many horns does he use in this song? Or this live show?
His full circle band consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 guys
in total?
outside of him.
Really?
Okay.
That's what it says. So you gotta think drums, bass, and then 2 horn players maybe, or piano and horns, or they probably do like when we saw 𝙈𝙤𝙬𝙧 play. They had guys who played like trumpet and trombone. It depended on the song.
Okay,
So I'm sure they're playing multiple. Even _Heads had a couple guys that played like different horn instruments. Because you don't necessarily have all 3 or 4 of them on one track.
Yeah. I mean, it does sound like there's some kind of maybe not synth, but like some kind of keys or pads in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is. Maybe it might have been different for this album. They could bring on some kind of
pouring. And again, if they were going to record, and knowing they're going to record, they may have thrown in an extra musician or 2.
Well,
for this,
I'm curious if you pull. Is there a Wikipedia page for this album?
I looked. No, I'm not seeing it.
They list the personnel.
Even if you look, it's crazy because he's really, really well known within the reggae like kind of community.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
But he's still not like 𝙃𝙬𝙢𝙧. Like he's not huge because he's not as, I guess, pop or mainstream. And so it's weird. Like even when you look him up, you have to look up Mike Love, and it's in parentheses reggae musician. And there's literally like 2 paragraphs, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like you can't find a lot about him. It's kind of crazy. But he lives a very kind of like not in the limelight kind of life. he grew up in Hawaii. He lives in Washington now. And he only moved there for, I guess his wife's family lives there. So like he moved closer to them, and it's kind of like he lives in like 15 acres of nothing. Like he just lives out in the middle of nowhere and kind of like secludes himself, and not in like a way of like he doesn't want to be near people, but just he wants to just like not be in, you know, the limelight like that. And you get that when you're at his shows. I mean, how many people can just walk up to him and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah. He does kind of seem like some kind of weird like nomad person who kind of just lives off the land.
Yeah.
But I mean that comes across in his music too.
Yeah.
So at least he's authentic about it.
Yep. You know, he kind of move along. What was it?
J.O.
Yeah, it was kind of interlude.
Yeah.
Wasn't really
much to it.
Yeah, it's only like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
And he got moving on.
Yeah.
I like moving on.
Good song.
Good song.
Human Race. I like just the concept. Human race meaning like the human people, but in the song it's talking about being part of the human race, like
Trying to
racing,
another.
like beating each other and racing towards. Like I just love the overlap.
What's that?
Of what
A double entendre?
Yeah.
say
Using
that.
the term human race in a different.
It's okay. No, I
What'd you
appreciate
say?
that. I was gonna say double entendre, but then
Yes.
Joe stole it from me.
Sorry for flexing.
It's a great song.
party
I think
on.
I like the meaning behind it more than the song itself.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
It's not a bad song, but it's,
No, I don't think there's too many bad
I
songs
don't think there's
on
really
this.
any. I mean, personally, but obviously.
Yeah.
But this
I
is
do
one
love
that
that.
gets kind of like lost in the mix for me. Like this is, you know, sounds familiar.
You know what I like about it? That
Similar.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yep.
dun, dun. Yeah. I told Joe, I've never known someone to make the fucking weirdest noises,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
but they fucking fit. Like there's no noise that comes in, and you're kind of like, at first you're like, what is that? And you're like, oh, it's right on key, and it fits right in what's going on. But it's like, yeah.
Then he has the crowd repeat him.
Yeah, that's one part of the song I wasn't a huge fan of. It
Once
felt like
again.
it was taken away from it. But yes.
there?
Yes.
You're doing it, and you're like, yes. And then you're like, you feel part of the show.
Yeah.
On the live album, you don't get the vibe. It's not the same feel.
Right.
Yeah. Mr. Not Too Crazy About Live Albums has done two of our live albums.
I was gonna say,
know.
right. I swear to God, I'll say it forever.
Say it.
When we first met each other, and we started talking about music, he was adamant. Yeah, I just don't like live albums. Because at that time, I was very into the Led Zeppelin "How the West Was Won" live album. Because at that point, it was, you know, the only thing Led Zeppelin like has put out in decades. Anyway, so I was very into that. And he's like, yeah, I just don't like live albums. Like Line in the Sand.
And I really...
And now he's on his, you know, short album kick. Here he is handing us a 2-hour live album. And
Just that's
I'm
it.
just...
Yeah.
And I have a feeling, you know, what the end result's going to be.
Yeah.
And I'm just shocked, but it don't matter.
No,
you
but
like
it's
what
true.
you like.
There's not a lot of live albums I'll listen to.
No.
I literally have 3. And
Yeah.
it's the John Mayer Trio,
Yeah,
this one, and Shinedown's Somewhere in the Stratosphere.
yeah.
Those are like my 3 go-tos. Other than that, I mean, I guess the Sugar Shack stuff now is a lot of the reggae live stuff, but that's like live acoustic performances. It's not the same as playing the album version. You know what I mean? There's a different feel.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you.
Barbershop.
Joe's song right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
This
song.
is kind of where the album like really kicked in for me. I was like, oh, all right, this is cool. Yeah, I just thought this was like a cool
Yep.
song. I don't really know how to describe it. I don't know, just had a cool vibe for me.
It's a great song.
Like this is like beach.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like a bird.
It
Great
is
guitar
though. It's
solo.
such a good song. And then you go kind of down a notch. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, this is one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, this was a great
Distant
song.
Traveler.
Distant Travelers, yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, the only thing I
It's a
could,
really
I
good
mean, and I get it. When you're live, he's talking about his wife and why he wrote the song. And okay, that live, that portion makes sense. For the album, you skip over it. Like, it's not that big a deal to me. But the song
But
itself,
someone like me,
yeah.
or Tom, who doesn't know him,
Yeah.
I thought that was a little story break
Yeah,
that actually
more.
fit
Oh, yeah.
because it's within the song.
Yes.
He's talked about it over the riff.
The first time you listen, anytime after that, you skip it.
Yeah.
Because you just get into the song.
Yeah.
I love this song.
I thought this was beautiful.
This is one of
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
favorite
Yes,
songs
Tom.
by him.
Thank you.
It really
Agreed.
is.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And
No,
what a guitar.
seriously though. It is
No,
beautiful.
no, yeah.
Like his guitar riffs are
Yeah.
intricate,
Mm-hmm.
and he's singing while playing these.
Yeah.
It's crazy. To me.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs on the album, or of all his songs, period.
Yeah.
Just one of. Yeah. And I found you. Great vocals. The saxophone is
Yep. Yeah.
unreal in it.
Especially right at the
Yeah.
beginning as well. Has that kind of like.
It's like a better Careless Whisper.
We're talking shit about George Michael.
I played that song, by the way, in it came on randomly on one of my mixes in my class, and all my kids were singing it.
Really?
12-year-olds singing it. Yeah.
Oh, it's a TikTok thing.
It must be.
Yeah.
They were killing it.
It
It
is,
was pretty funny.
There's a part where the music cuts out and it's just him doing like his vocals over it. Tonight the music seems alive.
Oh yeah, my kids were singing it out loud. It was pretty funny.
This crowd. But yeah, I could see that comparison for this one with the horns kind of.
But I absolutely love that song.
I like as this track starts to build a little bit more, towards like the 2-minute mark.
Yep.
It comes a bit more full circle and builds into a full. It does fill out more because it does sound a little bit empty in the beginning, but that's it's the point.
Like
it's
love
just
song and it builds.
it's just him kind of doing it for his wife, and then it builds more, and I do enjoy that aspect of it. But it's 9 minutes though. Like after, and it might be different for you because you have more of a repeated history of listening to this.
Yeah.
But in one go, like it was tough to do it in one session. Like I had to listen to this album in 3 different sessions, which is more than I usually do.
And you know
obviously.
what? A lot of times I listen to it like that too now, especially. A lot of different, like I'll put it on and it'll go through a handful of songs, and I'll be doing something else, and I'll come back to wherever I left off or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, I just finished my drink. That was right.
We still got more.
Yeah. But no, I like the concept of like, going through future and past lives and still finding the same person, like your distant travelers.
Exactly. The whole concept behind that song is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Then you go to I Love You.
I
I thought that was just a great tune. I think that's just it's got a cool chorus to it.
Yep.
The way he sings, he gets real, I love you.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know. I've always been, but again, that's one of his big, like, well-known songs, and he covers it on every album he does here and there, and so this is one of my big fan of that song.
Yeah. It's there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
But
fits nicely into
I got no issue with it.
The set list from the show.
And then when you open up *𝙃𝙬𝙢, that was one of his biggest songs, period. That's one of his like main, I guess, singles you want to call it, whatever.
Okay.
It's up there with.
And then what he does live with this is just unreal. How he goes from his song, and he flawlessly transitions into Pink Floyd.
There's not like a specific moment where you can tell like now it's money.
It just it just went right into it.
Right into that solo, and then he comes right into the song, and then when you're least expect it, he's back into *𝙃𝙀𝙀.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Best track on the album. I don't know where else to put it. Like just
It's
overall,
up there.
I think it's just one of the best tracks on the album. If not,
this was the first song that you showed me. I remember this summer you had played it for me when we were out on the boat.
Just because of that transitioning, I was like, where did that? I didn't expect it when I first listened to this album.
Yeah.
Right.
Never expected it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about like the 5:30 mark.
Yeah.
5:20 mark.
He just.
That's when the guitar solo starts. At least.
And again,
now is that him playing guitar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then.
He's filthy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Crazy. Just the way he goes down that progression and boom, he's right into it.
Mm-hmm. It changes up the rhythm too. It's like, it's a different rhythm for not tempo, but like time signature.
Yeah.
But he just.
The backing music still has the uptick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a reggae version of Money, which is it's a
but
really
the
cool
solo
concept.
is like pretty much note for note, like tempo and everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
So smooth.
Yeah, that's a great track. I really.
And I love that he Because sometimes a lot of bands do that, but he actually went into a full verse of it.
Yeah, he did.
You know, and you don't
Paid his
often see that.
respect to
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, and then went back into his song, and they just. But if you listen to them separate, you never think they'd fit together, which is like a whole nother level of comprehension, you know, as a musician. You know, for him to hear that.
I wonder if he does this all the time, like with 𝙃𝙬𝙢𝙬
I don't
live.
know.
I don't know either because
He
does.
does an acoustic. I'll tell you
Okay.
that. It would have to be full, and I've yet to see him with the full circle band, which is like
I would.
I am itching.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, yeah. But it does sound like the crowd was very excited when he started to sing it. So it might have been like the first time he's done it, or like
Maybe,
a surprise almost. So.
And that like bass,
he did a
just
great
that
job
bass
with it.
solo. Like, how often do you hear a bass solo like that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I still try to keep that like offbeat in
Yeah.
between. It was a flawless execution,
Yeah.
and it's yeah.
And then, like you said, they go into Penniless, which was a long song. And
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that.
I just love the guitar riff for the song because it's just like it's like a funk bass line on guitar. That's my one go to. I love the song. You know, you hear the song normally. Again, I know you guys know these songs as the live version.
As
Right.
this album,
I
yes.
know them as the original song. So
Right.
the live versions don't bother me because
Yeah,
I'm
but-
still hearing the original in my head and it's just an extension.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it puts a little flair in the originals.
I usually try not to start my first go with an artist with a
I would
live
suggest
album.
if you guys can sit through and listen to it. He doesn't have a lot. He's
Yeah.
got a couple of live acoustic things, and he's got like 3 albums that are like legitimate albums. It's just so worth it. But I just do love that acoustic riff
Yeah.
because it's
Yep.
He put out a track with 𝙃𝙬𝙢𝙬 this year.
yes, he was on the new 𝙃𝙬𝙢 album, which was really cool.
But yeah, he
That's a
has-
great album, also. The new 𝙃𝙀𝙢 one that came out right before we saw them.
Yep.
They were great live.
Yeah, they were. They were a
So
good band
good
live.
Yeah, so he has 3 albums on Spotify
Yes.
and 1 Audio Tree Live kind of.
That's a
cover
that's a
of-
good one. Yep.
Yeah. So. it'd be
And
interesting.
then you go to No Regrets. I think just one of my favorite songs of his all time. Like,
Really?
I love this song. I don't know if it's just the message behind it, if it's just the chillness of it, his vocals. I love how half of his, like, even with like I Love You, half of his like memorable like melodies are him whistling.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that, but
Yeah.
so many of the like the things that stick in your head, and you're like, oh wait, that was him whistling. Like of all things, it's pretty cool.
Mike is a sucker sometimes for a good ballad.
I am
You are.
slow song.
Yeah.
I know.
Another thing I really never.
That's been a long time.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's been always.
Ooh,
I don't know.
deep down, you gotta
Deep down, you're just a soft,
Way down here.
cuddly teddy bear. Not so rough and
Rusty
rough.
Interior.
I love this song though.
Yeah.
I play this song all the time.
This would be great live
Yes, it was.
because you could just kind of look around and yeah.
I invited both of you, so
Listen, hey, I was 90% in. I was in.
You were.
Pull it up. I was like, I'm in.
Pull
no
it up.
question asked.
I got the receipts.
But then work.
Tom just kept
Yeah.
doing the yeah, and that never went.
Yeah.
That's how I usually do most things.
So yeah, Let It Rain's a cool song. He's done that on a lot of different live album type things, acoustic stuff.
I like the intro.
Yeah,
This was a good song to come out of the
The
No
ballad.
Regret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I like it. Yep. Time to Wake Up. I know Joe's a big fan of the end of that.
Yeah. Sorry, I was on Let It Rain.
No,
still.
Let It Rain's a great song.
Yeah, great one.
I mean,
I thought he ended his set, I guess
Yeah.
you can call it, very strong. I really liked Let It Rain. Time to Wake Up. Holy fuck.
tight.
Tight. And was this the song with the
With the ending you were talking about when we were talking earlier.
no, but when the with the syllables?
No, it's Permanent Holiday.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Gotcha, we'll get there. Okay. But no, yeah, Time to Wake Up was a dope track.
Great song.
Yeah, how it ended, very tight, and they had like that staccato, like
Yep.
da 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 da, and no one missed a beat. No one was late. No one was early. Like I said before on another track, very tight band. Very tight band.
Oh, there.
And they're not like on point. Dun, dun,
Right.
dun.
It's the off. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's that.
Like I'd be in the audience like,
What? Are we clapping? Are we clapping?
Right.
No.
I'm done. Choo.
That's you leave it up to the professionals.
And that so Permanent Holiday might be his biggest.
Yes,
single.
yeah.
That's his song.
Okay.
Yes.
I believe that was his. Let me look here
It's
quick.
got 13 million streams on
yeah.
Spotify off of the Change.
I think that might be his like first success, like mainstream
Yeah, it looks like
out
it.
there was Permanent Holiday. But yes, it's got that part where it just kind of dies off.
Yeah, it
And
starts
it's
the
like-
track and then stops.
Like
And then he kinda
three
talks.
vocalists, four vocalists, and they just
Yeah.
layer syllables that create
Sounds.
Mhm.
But at first it's just sounds.
yeah.
And then you don't really tell what is going on until he comes in and fills in the rest, and it's words.
Yeah,
and
it's a full verse.
everyone's saying a syllable of different words, and you can actually hear what's going on. I thought that was
And it's really cool when he
Genius.
does it live because he loops all that.
yeah.
So he does like one set of loops, then
Mm-hmm.
another, then another. So he layers like 4 or 5 sets of vocals, and they just
Yeah.
then they create what he comes in last, like you said.
Yeah.
It's all of a sudden the verse.
Right.
Yeah, there were tracks where it did sound like he had some kind of effects or like a loop pedal
Oh,
going.
dude, it's crazy. So he goes on barefoot, and he literally, which creeps me out because I'm not a barefoot person, but he uses his toes to just press all these buttons on this pedal board that's got to be this fucking big.
Yep.
I look at it and I'm a guitarist and I'm a guitarist, but I look at it and I go, holy shit, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like distortion and clean. That's all I need. Everything else I'm fucking lost. And this guy's got like one of them he presses on. It's all of a sudden his guitar's a bass. All of a sudden his guitar's a keyboard. Like it's just crazy. And he gets it to sound like meticulous.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yep.
holy shit.
Mhm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's not to the song.
Oh.
I'm just
This
grimacing.
great does not.
Manipulated.
Yeah, then
I
he,
feel like I'm
he
being
like
he
just
just
goes
comes
off.
like in right off of it. It's just so good.
Yeah, the band that really builds up right after that.
Yep.
That was
That's
cool.
at
That was a
like
really cool one.
10:50.
Mhm. But it's also a 21-minute track, which
Yeah, but again, it comes in, and again, when you look at that, it stops, and then he thanks everyone for being there, as if it's like the final track of the song, the album, the show.
Yeah.
And then he comes back in, and then he definitely drags this section out longer than it does on the recorded. Like,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
album.
that makes sense.
But again, live, you think about you're standing there and you're singing along because you know this.
Yeah.
And you're singing all this, and then it's just like.
It's just my viewpoint.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
'cause-
It's.
yeah.
Oh, it's long, 100%.
yeah.
There's no doubt.
That's what she said.
No, I've heard full albums that are 21 minutes in length.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, and this is.
But no,
one
this
song.
is a cool track though. I did enjoy it.
Yep. And then No More War is good, but kind of was a.
I didn't really like it.
It was.
I don't know.
It kind of, at this point in the album, like you didn't need it.
Yeah.
Well, this was the encore song of the show
Yeah.
because he really wrapped it up after Permanent Holiday.
Yep.
And then you could tell he came back out.
Yeah,
You know,
and
they
it's
probably
kind
did
of
some
like
editing.
it's a track if you know him. You know.
No, I enjoyed it. I honestly, I think it is the best reggae album that we've done on the show.
Okay.
And I think part of that is that live aspect again, where you can feel the energy of the crowd going into it, and a part of that is his unique style of having these weird vocal inflections and the really in sync rhythm of the horn section and the percussion and all these other types of instrumentation he throws in, and also the fact that he's just a great singer. The notes that he can hit are pretty
Unbelievable.
impressive. Yeah.
Unbelievable singer.
So, and there's a lot of cool, unique moments you don't really hear on a lot of other reggae releases. So, I thought it was a definitely good choice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It was long, and I know there were parts
Yeah.
you can skip over, but it's hard to skip when, if it's in the
Yeah.
middle of the song, you got to like scrub forward or.
And again, a
know.
lot of those skips end up being for me like I kind of know where they come
Right.
because I've listened to it so many times.
Right.
So they come up and I go, okay, boom, hit.
Right.
Because I know I don't want to listen to him talk right now. Cause
But then
I'm
there's
fine.
more song like after, and that's the stuff I want to hear.
You lose some little.
Like when I hear an album or definitely an artist for the first time, I want to hear the music.
Well,
and the live album is almost like a treat for the people who are fans. You know,
to introduce. And the thing with this was there were just so many huge songs on this that it was like the best version of a greatest hits that I could pull out.
Right.
Which was greatest hits plus some.
Plus live.
You know,
it was kind of like when I took out the Dream Theater album on you guys, like long tracks, you know, first impression, same kind of thing here. But
that's a good way.
No, it was, but the band, they are tight. I would love to see them live.
Yes,
and I want to go back and listen to some studio albums by then.
We will.
I would listen to all of them. They're not long. I mean, they're 30, 40 minutes. They're like normal albums. You know, and they're just. I'm still waiting. I got the vinyl I bought when I saw him that I want to sit down here one night and just listen to.
Yeah.
You know, it's
nice.
I love vinyl, so listening to one. I mean, and they're hard to find. Like I looked online. I could only find a vinyl at his live show. I couldn't find
this album.
So not this album.
Oh, I was gonna say that needs like 6 different vinyls to play.
No. No, just one of his other albums. I forget off the top of my head.
I want 𝙃𝙬𝙧𝙀 to put out a live album. I wonder if they record anything from this past tour.
They might have.
Because it was kind of their greatest hits tour.
That was great.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Let's do it. Top track.
So, top track for me has to be 𝙃𝙬𝙢. I just think for this album, it's one of his biggest songs. And then into that Pink Floyd, Money. It's just a go-to for me.
Yep.
So, it's so tight.
Okay.
Ooh, little tickle.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Really tickle. Uh-oh.
Nah, it's not COVID.
I'm gonna lay a nice fart down and see if it's a COVID test.
It's too late for both of you anyway, so. What do you got?
I
can go.
Okay.
I actually really enjoyed the opener, Can't Take It With You When You Go. It was the first impression that I really had of the album. And there's something about it that he just had so much chemistry, and it felt like such a nice, chill, relaxed track with a great message behind it that it really stuck with me. Like, I found myself repeating this over and over again. I actually posted a Snapchat when I was at the top of the peak of that hike over this really cool view of East Haddam, and then I played this song in the background. I think Mike sent me something about it. So.
Oh, cool.
It was a really cool moment for me, and what a great way to start the album. So that's my favorite.
Yeah, great way.
Yeah. Nice. I'm gonna go with a track that was more towards the end of the show. Ooh. Let It Rain. I really like Let It Rain. I really like that vocal part, the da 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 da. Like it was really easy to sing along, especially for someone that doesn't know, you know, him and his music that well. Let It Rain, and the band was just really tight on it.
Yeah, great.
Yep. As for bottom track, least favorite, I think I gotta go with the closer, No More War.
Yeah.
I just didn't see the need of it, and I don't know, it just didn't gravitate towards me. It's kind of surprising because I'm assuming it was an encore of the show, and you know, usually an encore you gotta do something relatively banging, something. But yeah, so no war for me. No more war for me. Yeah.
I think it was just Permanent Holiday was just a great way to end.
Yeah.
That I just think it like missed the mark.
Yep.
And again, live, being there, I've seen him live, so in the moment, you don't give a fuck. He's playing another song.
Right.
That's awesome. But when you're listening to it from a live album at home standpoint, agreed. If they ended with Permanent Holiday, it would just been, that's your biggest song. There you go.
Yeah.
You're done. So I just think, from that standpoint, it was, you know, you're talking about a place that they play every week when they're not on tour.
Yeah.
They could play fucking dog shit at the end.
Yeah.
People are like, I love the song.
Right.
So I get why they did it, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with you on that. For pretty much all the reasons you said. Also, like, it comes after one of his biggest songs, so it's kind of hard to follow up and to be the closer, and it wasn't really that energetic or interesting like some of the other tracks before it. So I could agree with that.
And then
As
Sleepy
for
Dark Horse.
Sleeping Tranquilized Horse, I have a tie. I'm going to go with 𝙃𝙬𝙢𝙬 just because that was the first song you showed me, and I really, really did enjoy that kind of out of nowhere money sample. Not sample, but cover. And I don't know, or you might have told me the title of the track, but I just remember hearing the Mike Love song that went into money.
Yeah.
So when listening back to the album, it like hit me out of nowhere. I was like, oh, that's the one. That's what it was. So I went with that, and then I went with Permanent Holiday, which isn't really a sleeper, obviously, because it's one of his bigger tracks. But in the sense of this album, I really did enjoy that middle section in particular. I wasn't a huge fan of that kind of drawn out back section and parts of the beginning, but I really did enjoy that kind of layered vocal, missing section, and then he kind of pieces the puzzle together, and it really does create a cool, unique moment for the album.
Sweet.
I can totally agree about 𝙃𝙬𝙢𝙬, but I want to spend a little time and give a shout out to the Full Circle Band. A couple songs I think they really shined on that are my sleepy dark horses are Be Thankful from early in the show and Time to Wake Up from later in the show. Just insanely tight, great musicianship. I know I sound like a broken record. I use a lot of the same vocab, but it really is true. They're a very talented band. A lot of moving parts you can tell, but they make it work, and it's live. They're not tracked. They're not. They didn't make a mistake and stop the computer. This is live, and such a talented band to pull off such complex parts like those two songs, and really the rest of the album live. So Be Thankful and Time to Wake Up are two other takeaways you should check out.
Yeah, I'm pulling a Joe Sada on this one. I got two. Yeah, I am.
We each have two.
Yeah, we
I'm
do.
pulling a Joe Sada.
Hey.
Sorry, that's stupid.
I love Distant Traveler.
That is nice.
That is a great one. I'm glad
we
someone
can
did
agree.
song.
That's a Hops and Bops sleeper.
It's just a great song. Even the like recorded version is still just as good. Live, it's unbelievable.
It was sweet.
It was a great live song to watch. And then No Regrets. I know they're both kind of ballady, but No Regrets. I don't know what it is about that song. I don't know if it's the vocals or just the melody or just the. I love that song. So hearing it live again, it's just so. These songs sound like they do recorded. Like that's so hard to come by sometimes with live albums.
Yeah.
It's just so spot on. So those are my two.
Yep.
Definitely. Let's give them some ratings, Mike. This was your album. This was your beer. Well, your flavored ale.
It is.
Let's focus more on the one of the mics.
We're gonna hit with the album.
We're gonna start with the album.
All right.
Usually.
I've done it once. I'm doing it again. 10 out of 10.
Woo, doggy.
I know I have bias. I know seeing him live gives me another perspective that you guys don't quite have, which is fine.
Yeah.
But
It's a personal thing.
yeah, just again, one of the best live musicians I've ever seen.
Awesome.
So yeah, 10 out of 10.
Fuck yeah.
Let's put him in the hall.
That's it.
He is in the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Mike.
Yeah. I'm sure he's very flattered.
Yes.
Sure.
Actually,
He might.
He actually might be.
Yeah.
Might be.
Let me look up his number.
yeah.
If you're listening, Mike, give us a call. We would love to have you
If
on.
we tag him, I'll be honest with you, he'll probably
Share it at least.
somebody will at least share or follow because
Well, it's going to happen in a
They
few
do.
weeks, so
they do.
yeah.
Come on the show, Mike. I'd love to
He
hear more of
actually,
your stuff.
Mike Love Music page, which I'm not sure if it's run by him or his group or,
Or,
somebody
yeah, some
else.
kind of fan group.
But I made a comment one time. I think I tagged
Was it Instagram?
Mike Love. Yeah, music.
That's
yeah.
him. Blue check.
Yeah, I think I tagged Minnie in something, and he actually liked the tag.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, so there's that.
That's a
kind
good chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this album. I liked it quite a bit. I was surprised and a bit taken aback by how much I would have liked this because just at a baseline level, I'm not super insane about reggae. I know you are a bit more than I am, but in terms of what this album is, in terms of being a live album and a reggae album, both of them actually, I'm not insane about. I was pleasantly surprised by this album. I'm still not head over heels like it for just the length of it and parts of it. It does get hard to listen to as a full thing, but obviously it's what it's meant for. That's just the format that it's in. I think I'm gonna give it about a 6.5. There are a lot of great aspects to this. If you want to put it on in the back and do some other things while you're not insanely focused on it, it's perfect for that.
Mhm.
Or if you're just like, chilling outside at like a fire, or if you're working on other things, it's great. There are a lot of cool and interesting aspects to it, like 𝙃𝙬𝙢𝙬 with the cover of Money, the middle of Permanent Holiday. I thought was a really, really strange but interesting way to incorporate, that loop pedal aspect that he has to his music. And yeah, he seems like a great guy. He seems like he has really cool messaging and really intimate with his fans. And so
Got really long dreadlocks.
That's, all right, 7. He has cool dreadlocks. I'll give it a 7.
He sat on his stool playing guitar and they touched the ground. I was like,
Oh, that's right. I saw
how
that.
heavy. I said the Snapchat of that.
Yes, I
how
saw that
heavy
one.
Those have to be.
That's crazy.
Yes. So, shout out to the second mic on the show.
7 for me
Okay.
as well. Great album, great band.
Yes, I should say that too.
Yeah, and it was a little longer,
Yep.
but that can be expected for a concert. I mean,
Sure.
God, when you play a show, you're
You
expected
want to be at the show that long.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
For sure.
right.
paid for
And some of his messaging, I'm not going to get too into it,
Nah,
but
I get
I don't know, might be a little too drastic for me, and I don't really want to go to a concert and think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to hear about the positivity that Tom kind of focused on and everything. I just felt for the album they could have cut out some of the like the 𝙃𝙬𝙢𝙬 song, like 𝙃𝙬𝙢𝙬. They probably could have
it was
cut
an
that out.
interlude.
Yeah, and just make it a little more digestible. But great album. Would love to see him live. I'm pissed that I wasn't able to.
I would love to do another album after we see him live.
Okay.
Like if you guys get to a show with me to see him,
Yep.
and then do an album
Little
after that. Like,
little
Yeah,
Hops
yeah.
and Bops R&D concert.
Yeah,
trip.
yeah, little
Yeah.
little field trip
Yeah.
to a show.
Yeah,
We actually
or,
could
or
do
just a
that.
concert
review. That would actually be that would be a lot
Oh, a
of fun.
little concert review. That's a whole new
I like
category.
You should get a sponsor for that.
I like that.
Mike Love.
Good. Sponsored by Mike Love. That could be fun. We'll be in talks.
Love
Once
Nation.
after we see the show, we can talk to him because he lets you.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yes.
That's true. Cool.
So
All right.
And how about our Mike's Harder Mango?
Yeah, it's a 3.
3.
It
Wow.
wasn't good.
that's higher than I thought you would give it though.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3. I mean, it tasted like stale juice,
Yeah.
and just it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got nothing else to say.
So we gave Four Loko seltzer. I think we all gave it a 0. I think
I
you
gave it a
ha-
0.5.
0.5 because of can design.
Yes.
I mean, I
can
drank
drink
it. Yeah, I drank it if I
We
was
finished it.
forced to.
It's empty.
Like the Four Loko was complete dog shit, but this was like at least like you could drink it and
This
not.
is like purebred dog shit.
Yeah, it's not. What's the competition they have on for the dogs?
Yeah,
The whatever it
Best
was.
in show.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. This was not when Best in Show. I'm gonna give it like a. I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
Okay.
Like it wasn't torturous to drink. Like if you made me, I would be fine with drinking all of it.
Mhm.
But like it doesn't need to be 8%.
No.
Like even like Mike's already as it is way too sugary and kind of like that first drink you've ever had when you're like 15, 16, just kind of drinking something to begin with. So it's too much of something that's already too much.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I'm at 1.5.
Yeah.
And it wasn't mango, it was orange.
Right. 2 next.
Next.
It's really not. I mean, it's fucking Mike's Hard Lemonade. What do you want? Like, yeah, slap an ER on the
Hall
end.
of Fame album and a Hall of Trash beer.
Yeah, what a difference
Wow.
between.
We just went. I went with Mike's. I literally
It
walked
was
in
literally Mike's.
and we bought
Yeah.
Mike's because it was Mike's.
It's Mike to the power of
That's
3
it.
Yes.
or 5, depending on Mike and Mike.
Yeah.
And Judge. Yeah.
Ooh, we should get Mike and Mike in the morning on here.
Oh.
Like
Done.
to the power
Wow.
of 7.
Hey, you might be able to pull that off.
I could,
Soon,
but
maybe.
keep it
We'll
on-
see.
yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
Anyway.
All right.
Yes.
So we
Thank
have
you.
Mike Love Music on Instagram.
Yes, go follow him. He
Yeah.
seems like a cool guy.
Yes,
Great
definitely.
follows.
Um.
Supports a lot of other acts too. Like,
Yeah.
just
Yes.
posts them all the time, tags them. Yeah, great.
Cool. All right, that's good.
And
I like that.
his website is mikelovemusic.com.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Yes.
Check out his recorded albums. They're
I
great.
Okay.
think he has some kind of tour dates because you just saw him recently.
Yeah, he did a few more. I think he might be wrapping that up. And
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping.
There's a summer
I'm
tour,
hoping
maybe.
early next year.
Yep.
I was
So-
supposed to see him at that Levitate Festival, and that got
That
canceled.
Levitate
Oh,
Festival.
killing me. I was supposed to.
You've been
I-
talking about that
oh.
for like 2.5
Dude, I
years.
still got my tickets. They're,
Yeah.
they're on my phone.
Yep.
2.5 years.
Yep.
If you want to get the exclusive video from the Hawaii Theater, These Are My Roots show for a whole full album show, it's only $2 on his website.
Oh,
You'll get that.
Sugar Shack.
steal.
So
We're
yes.
gonna do Sugar Shack at some point. Those are some cool acoustic
Yeah.
things.
cool.
So
All
go
right.
get that, but don't go get Mike's Harder.
Yeah. But I mean, we do have Mike's Hard Lemonade
We do.
Instagram, and get this, Mike's Harder Lemonade
Has
all
their own.
has their own Instagram handle, blue check and all.
Okay.
But I mean, we're just plugging that just to say.
Just because we usually do.
Yeah. Cool. Next episode 64. This is the second of the bet, and it's
We
happening.
got time to change.
No, it is happening. Yep.
But what an album, though.
What an album.
Nirvana.
And yeah,
May
it
have heard
is Nirvana's breakout album, Nevermind,
Okay.
with the naked baby on the album cover. And I chose this because it's the 30th anniversary of it, and we're nearing the end of 2021, so I wanted to sneak it in before the year end. And it's part of a slew of other 30-year-old
Yeah.
albums, which we'll talk about. And I wanted to definitely talk about this one before the year was done. And then to pair with it, I wanted to have a little play on name here. So we're going to be doing like Smells Like Teen Spirit, where I'm bringing in Canteen Spirits, ready to drink vodka sodas.
Little taste test.
Little taste test. There are 3 flavors. We got the black cherry, lime, and watermelon flavors. And we're going to do a little taste test throughout and as we talk about the album.
All right.
So there you go. We have that to look forward to.
Right.
And then this is going to be like our last regular episode
That's right.
of
All
the
right.
year. Then we have our 2 holiday specials right after that.
That's all right. Yeah.
Wow.
We're,
Man,
we're in the thick
wrapping
of
around.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hops and Bops podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Thank you so much for listening. Check us out again. Spread the word. We're streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and check out the YouTube for all the visual episodes. For Tyke, Tom, and Mike, I'm Joe. Peace out. What is it? Cheeseheads or something?
Peace.
Peace.